Hey, what's going on, dudes? And welcome back to another Fireside Chat. This time is a little bit different. We're all in person. I can see Philip's ugly-ass face.
Yeah. Won't even argue.
And Garrett's here, too. That's
Yeah,
me.
no, get upstairs if you didn't hear.
Yeah.
These cookies are fire.
Good cookie. Mama Garrett.
Mama Garrett.
Mama Garrett.
I mean, I guess I cooked them.
Uber Barb.
Mom's
I made
Garrett.
I made them.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I made some fire cookies. So,
They're going to be gone by tomorrow morning.
Probably.
there's a lot. There's like 30 at least.
Well, more than that.
We've knocked out at least like
a dozen already.
maybe.
I've only had 2. Jesus.
No, we've been munching.
How many did you eat, Philip? I
I only had one.
had 3.
Yeah.
No, I'm grabbing another one.
We've had like.
I'll grab another.
We've had like half a dozen, maybe. So, I don't know, what are the topics you want to start with?
I don't have a topic. We're just going to go with the flow.
Okay. Why is it that every time we turn on the recording, like all these...
It's not that. It's not now we're recording. So it's like, oh shit, I gotta actually come up with good content.
Yeah, we have good content.
I don't care.
There's people who record for 3 hours just to get like 10 minutes of
10 minute
content.
video. Mm-hmm.
Do. I don't do.
I don't know. I think it's really hard to make content like that. Like, I don't know. I respect people who can.
Well,
do
I mean,
it
they
every
also
day.
pay editors to go through it.
If you make it big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I like streaming so much. Is because it's minimal effort, and people can just join whenever they want.
Yeah. It's also better because then I feel like it'd be a little bit easier to do it single person. Because at least I have trouble doing it where I'm like the only person. If you got chat going through, you know, you have someone to talk to, and it's not like, so if I'm doing something solo, I don't have to, talk to myself.
I think that's why a lot of people find streaming so alluring, is because of that that live interaction with your audience, and you can just
more personal.
It's way more personal. You get more feedback, and a lot of smaller content creators start out that way because of that, and they get popularity because they're close with their fans.
Yeah. I don't watch many podcasts, even though I love watching clips.
I'll watch I don't know. I actually I've watched quite a few podcasts recently. Just while I'm doing work, I'll put something on.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of podcasts. I'll throw on like a podcast on at work because that's the way I pass the time.
Yeah, it's just nice to listen to something in the background, kind of while you're doing your thing, whatever. Like, works out pretty well.
Spent 4 hours at work programming radios, with some of them not even working. So
yeah, that happens.
I have to have something going on in the background. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. I've been bad recently because I'll get like I'll be doing like work or Calc 3 stuff and homework, and I'll put on a YouTube video. And usually I don't have I can get my work done. This year's bad. I get too in deep. Even I've been watching golf. Good. I get too captivated by it. It doesn't work.
Man, I get distracted too easily. Like I can't.
Even music.
Yeah. Like, especially music nowadays.
I'll sing along to it.
Yeah, I'll just be singing the music instead of doing my work.
I'll be vibing out, humming the words, being feeling myself, and then I'm like, oh, I still need to do this homework. Oh, it's due in 20 minutes. Well, yeah, no.
Dude, I still got a paper that was due. What was it? Thursday. It was due last Thursday, and I still have it to turn it in.
Oh my god.
It was an essay. It was a 5-page essay, and I haven't even started it.
Oh my god. No, I just had to write a position argument counter, or a productive counter argument research, whatever the hell they called it.
I haven't had to do any English. I did it first year, and then they're like, yeah, math.
Because math's more important.
Engineers don't need to write stuff.
I mean, they do,
Well,
but
don't you
it's
have
not
to take
like...
an engineering writing class?
Maybe later.
It's like probably
later.
college writing.
Maybe later, but
it's probably not engineering writing. It's probably like college writing.
Well,
it might be my well, I already did that. I did
that's
English comp.
That's
which was freshman year.
It's not really English. It's more literature.
Yeah.
No, I'm in rhetoric and composition right now. It's English 15. It's the basic class. It's bullshit. But I had to write like a 5-page paper that had a whole bunch of sources and bullshit in it. It was terrible.
I'm doing honors, like intro to literature.
No.
Ew.
No. That means you have to read shit, right?
Yeah, we've read. What I'm supposed to be writing a paper on is Hamlet,
Hmm.
Fences. We had to read Fences again, and some other stupid ass one.
Oh, wait, no.
Hamilton, he says.
No, I was thinking Hamlet. Hamlet's kind of cool, I think.
Yeah.
No, Hamlet was a good.
Isn't The Lion King based off of Hamlet?
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
They got some similarities there.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I've never read.
That's even what the teacher said. Like, that's not even me like making it up and like saying, "Oh yeah, definitely." It's like my teacher actually said that, and he knows English and I don't, so he must be right.
My English comps. I had English comp 1 and 2 both semesters, fall and spring. The second spring, it was week before finals week or weekend. Supposed to be studying. Had a little fun. While having fun, at 2 in the morning, wrote a 5-page essay for my English comp 2. Got a 95% on it.
It's not bad.
While not right.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. But I was like, and my friends, one of them has failed it because they just didn't feel like turning in things.
Mm-hmm.
And my other one from Philly, he just is bad at English. And he's got to take it over the summer.
That sucks.
I'm just like, because then it's summer tuition.
Yeah.
And it's not full time. So you don't get like much reimbursed or like loans or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's,
My one buddy who lives in Philly, he's from Egypt.
oh, that's sick.
Silver tongue.
What do you mean?
He's a silver tongue. He can write really well. It's always eloquent. It flows very nicely.
Because he's not from America.
It's crazy. It's like when he it's not when he speaks. It's like you or me speaking. You know, we're just talking. But when he writes stuff down on paper, he can. I don't know how he does it, but every time it always flows really well.
Oh, so you can read hieroglyphic. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Hey, his handwriting looks
exactly.
a little bit like it sometimes.
It's like
I was trying to decipher his
he's
lab
writing in
notebook.
hieroglyphics.
Yeah, I was trying to decipher his lab notebook because I was trying to get the post lab from him. Fucking, I was like, damn, I'm like trying to read these damn hieroglyphic type bullshit here.
Why is this pharaoh in my chemistry?
What is cow in chemistry?
cow?
No,
What is dog sign squared?
so he actually he can read a few hieroglyphics, but obviously he speaks Arabic because
That's
he's
sick.
in Egypt. So like he'll be talking to his parents on the phone, and his mom only speaks I assume it would be Egyptian, but I don't know what part of Egypt.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember. Not Cairo area. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Not Cairo, but yeah. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. He goes back like every summer. He has he has gold and silver that were mined there. He got it to like shops in Cairo, like the
That's
bazaar and
Yeah.
shit. He actually let me use one of his silver ones a little while back. That was really cool. Like, and it I don't know. It feels like real silver. I don't know.
Probably because it is.
It
real
is
silver.
real silver, of course, but like it
They
feels
don't-
like it's.
They don't sell fake plastic shit like here in America.
Oh, well, they might. Depends on where you are, I guess.
Bet you it's still real silver. Though.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of those, I would always love to go just somewhere other than.
I want to go either Scotland or Ireland.
I've heard mixed things about Ireland. People have said to just not go because it's just not worth going.
I think it'd look
I think it
beautiful
would be-
there.
I think it's gorgeous there, even if it does rain the whole time. Who cares?
I'll chime in once I get down there.
Yeah.
I can't remember. What's that one? There's like that one. It's like King's Rock or something.
Is that what it's called?
Norway is beautiful.
It's some place in Ireland where it's like a bunch of hexagonal rocks.
Oh yeah, that's where Thor was shot. The one final scene of Thor.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It was beautiful because it's straight down.
What's that place called?
I think he's
I'm
King
not sure.
something.
Yeah, I know it's.
I'd love to look it up, but we don't have Wi-Fi, so
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you it's definitely not King's Cross.
Yeah.
no. I don't know what it is, but I want to go to Norway. At least one of the Scandinavians in my lifetime, because
Yeah.
they're called fjords, FJORDS. They're big, basically mountain cliffs. They're beautiful. The lake towns, especially in Christmas because it's snowing, they have all the town lanterns and the city streets are just beautiful. They have that. Have you ever seen the one Windows lock screen where it's that soccer pitch?
I have it. Yeah.
On like the rocks in the middle of a lake.
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Really pretty.
I would love to go there.
I'm actually considering studying abroad. Junior year. That's what I'm gonna.
Where would you study abroad?
I want to go to somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to go to Europe.
Don't go to France.
I probably wouldn't, but only because I don't really want to go to Paris for a long period of time.
Who's in
Go
Paris?
to like Korea.
I
I don't know who's in Paris, but think about Australia.
No, never.
Why? Bugs,
Big spiders.
big spiders.
You're
Yeah,
never
Phil's
catching me
definitely
out.
afraid of
Nope.
spiders.
Not
Go to
going
like
Australia.
Korea.
I was
feel like
thinking
Korea would be-
I
Japan.
would want to really go. I really want to go to Japan.
I do
but
too.
I can't speak the language, so unless I would
There's
have
people
like a
who speak
translator
English
there-
in Japan.
Of course, but like I would want to experience it, like for the culture. You know, like
Yeah.
I want to experience the culture there. I want to see like all these really cool things. I want to get authentic food, but I also want to see the touristy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Just don't
my
go
whole
to
thing
anywhere
with
where
experience
everybody else.
that.
Like, don't go to like Italy.
I want to
France,
go to Italy. I like
England.
Italy's
because that's where everybody wants to
countryside.
go.
Italy's countryside
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Well,
It's
that's where
gorgeous.
everybody wants to go. You got to go to
If I could-
definitely go to Scandinavia.
If I could get like, and of course I don't know the programs. I haven't looked into it too much. I've looked over a little bit.
I know
looked
there's
into
a
doing some stuff
bunch
with the
through
Peace
Pitt.
Corps actually, but
There's a bunch through Pitt, so I guarantee Penn State would have a lot.
yeah.
Penn State
there's
will probably have.
there's
Yeah.
no. They pay for the whole trips and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
There's like if people are going to South America,
Mhm.
they will pay you to go there
Yeah.
now.
Go
Because I
to
don't want to go to
Brazil!
South America because exactly they would send me somewhere in Brazil to do so. Like, and I don't. I'd rather go to Europe first before I visit South America.
Yeah.
Just because I've always wanted to visit Europe,
Mhm.
and it's like so it's on the other side of the globe. Like that's so cool.
Well, that's why I say Scandinavia because often people don't want to just
Yeah.
go there.
I want to go to Greenland because the natural hot springs.
Oh
Because
yeah.
especially on like a winter trip, snowboard, ski at a lodge, go to a hot spring after at night, loosen up.
You watched that Sidemen video?
Yes, I
That
did.
was good.
The
That-
Sidemen
that was
holidays.
crazy.
Yes, it was very good.
Yeah, maybe look at like one of those, Iceland or Greenland.
I've always wanted to go to either.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to Greenland.
I might
'Cause-
actually prefer to go to Iceland just because it's
Yeah.
nicer there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's hard. Either would be great.
I mean, I'm not saying that Greenland's not nice, of course, but I know that it's like the Greenland is the snowy, cold one, and Iceland is the
Green.
green, warm one, or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's not warm; it's still pretty high.
Still above us.
north, it's
Still like
above us in
Canada.
latitude, it's like Canada. It's cold.
So when you study abroad, do you ever come back,
It's like a.
or is
no.
it like is it the whole year?
Yeah, well, it
It's a
depends on what I
semester.
do. I'll go
Oh,
either
it's
do
a
a
semester.
semester abroad where
It's
I'm
a
there
semester.
for
Oh, okay.
I think.
like 18
You could.
weeks.
I think you could.
You can do a year abroad. You,
You
can
could
do
do
2
two.
years abroad. So like I could go and just
Does that gain you anything?
It's kind of be like a co-op too.
yeah, it's
It's kind of like I
So,
had
I go
work
to
experience in another
Yeah.
country kind of thing.
I go to
Oh,
another country and I took classes there.
Oh, okay.
And
About engineering.
usually they're towards either gen eds, which are
Yep.
really easy to take over, or they can be
or
like major
engineering
based.
electives.
like it can be that kind of stuff. But I know there's a lot of engineering students go study abroad.
Yeah.
There are a lot of humanities students that go and study abroad. I've
Business.
heard poli-sci majors study abroad, but I don't know anybody who has.
I haven't.
But I do know some engineers who've gone out. I know humanities people who've gone out. Even people who are going for hotel management still to this day.
Mhm.
Hotel management
Yes. Hey, Best Westerns.
have studied abroad.
Super 8s. They hit hard.
Hampton Inn,
You know what would be owning a casino wouldn't be too bad.
owning a casino.
It'd be
It'd be
hard to manage.
well now they have
Different
facial
things.
recognition software
That's
for
true.
all that kind of like if you catch them like they have things to catch people cheating to see if it's like a genuine reaction like or they expected it. Like, it's crazy the kind of technology they have in the facial recognition software and everything, the cameras and stuff.
Well, they normally have people watching the tables. Like,
the way they used to do, they would have people like up in a room, like watching cameras.
Yeah.
That are, like, pointed at the tables, and they still have that, I assume.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, what games, what times, food if you need it, if it's a stay casino kind of thing, all that would kind of be a lot. But if you were in a big company and you could be like, all right, I'm the head of this, you're the head of that, that would be cool. But I think one at one time, trying to own it yourself.
That's you would have to work your way up. Of course.
Yeah.
Or have a large sum of money or investors interested in what you're doing.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
The best would probably be to approach someone who is in a business and be like, hey, look, I've had experience in casinos with these people, and I've managed here and here. So what if we did something, put a business, whatever, like how it always goes.
I would love to own a dealership, like a supercar dealership.
That would be so cool. You would.
Have you ever heard of Daily Driven Exotics? DD.
Yeah.
Just the.
Think of how small your clientele is, though.
But how much profit do you have?
How much profit is it really?
Little paperwork.
That is true.
And if they're manuals, if they're V8s, V10s, V12s, they're not being made anymore. Lamborghini's never making another V10 or V12 ever again.
No.
Well, there's never going to be a gated manual. There's never going to be gated manuals anymore.
So they say.
So far. Until everybody gets sick of electric cars and wants back.
Mm-hmm. Which is now.
Yes.
Me right now.
The car enthusiasts will never let gas go away, I think. Unless something funky with the government happens.
Yeah.
But I still think... Because there's so much business in it. Not many, people modify Teslas, but people aren't going to modify the crap out of a Tesla Roadster.
Because
they're going to put a front lip, a diffuser. They're not going to put an exhaust on it. They're going to download a sound
No, they're
bite.
just going to get a bigger speaker.
Yeah,
exactly. Get a bigger speaker.
But you won't have... Sure, you'll have drifting in there, but even then...
It's
gas engines are fire.
Just because you can modify them to go faster, do specific tasks, but electric, it's you change the motors, and that's about as modifiable as
you can
go.
change gear ratios to get torque.
Yeah.
I think it'd actually be easier to tune an electric car.
Well, you can modify your car to go faster or move stronger.
Yeah,
almost every aspect of it.
Yeah, the only thing you wouldn't have to worry about gas leaks or anything like that. You would just have to worry about all the mechanical parts being oiled.
Yeah.
Since there's no gas running through it, no oil gets to it, so you have to... That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I like hybrid cars. Hybrid cars make sense. All electrics are just hard.
They make hybrid, sports cars and muscle cars more hybrid.
Yeah.
And less of a gas guzzler. I think that's as best as you're probably going to get those supercars.
Yeah. Well,
that was popular for a little while. They were making the...
Oh, yeah.
The really fast hybrids that were this is the future.
Yeah, they charge the battery.
Yeah, and it charged the battery as it... on the downhills or whenever it wasn't, the rotation would charge the battery. And, it wouldn't give you much, but it was a good idea.
Yeah, it was good on gas.
Yeah.
Good on...
It gave you better mileage, and it gave you a slightly longer battery life. It wasn't, too significant, but...
The sad thing is, the more and more we go through climate change or greenhouse effect... My dad said he bought a Corolla before the new emissions law passed. Mm-hmm. Was already getting 30 miles a gallon. Mm-hmm. Now it's worth fighting to get 30 miles a gallon because of all the emissions laws. Now, is it better? Maybe. Because you figure we have to buy a shit ton more gas because we get 20 miles a gallon instead of having a car, maybe putting out a little more plumes. Mm-hmm. But there's less fracking, there's less gas consumption, and gas doesn't have to be.
Fracking's not always necessarily a bad thing. If you
No,
do it,
no.
do it right, there shouldn't be any issues.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not always done right. So
I like Marcellus. Keystone Pipeline should be finished and keep running.
Well, I feel like the
Not
only
my say,
real issue with like people complaining about the oil and everything because people use it for energy. If we like laid off of it being used for energy and just went for like say nuclear,
everyone's afraid of it though. Like
Chernobyl.
that's the thing.
okay, but let's look at the real situation.
Well, no.
happening.
I'm saying
Neglect.
Chernobyl caused everybody to be scared.
Yeah.
It's not
Green
just
Mile.
that. You remember
Green Mile Island.
Fukushima?
Oh yeah.
That was 2014 maybe? No, maybe before that. 2012 maybe?
I don't know.
2008
I
even?
forget.
Whatever, Fukushima happened. That was contained really well. They took care of that fast, and it was all shut down and cleaned up.
No one knows about it, and that's why, because it's contained.
And you look at all
Chernobyl's
the
Germans,
Huh?
right?
No, Russians.
No.
Russians.
Well-
that's what it was.
The Russians built the Chernobyl. And,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, like that would be a more. Well, here's the thing. Even if it causes that, you know, it's more effective than oil.
it is.
It creates so much more energy, like 100 times more energy.
And actually, something they can do to make them even safer, they make one-off burner plants. That this is like the proposed future to like ease us into the nuclear age that they've said for the last whatever bullshit. So what they say to do is they make a plant, they put all the fuel in it, and then seal it, and then just let it burn all the fuel out. And once it's done, cover it, build another plant on top of it. It's
But then there's also like thorium. You know,
and
it
then
doesn't.
you look at that.
It doesn't work. Like it's not constantly active. You need something to move the neutrons through, and that actually causes the energy to pass.
I think what I don't get is why tidal and more hydro stuff isn't moving. I did a research paper on tidal energy, and all you have to do is set up basically buoys 2,000 some miles off the coast.
Yeah.
Waves are always going. You can put one out to test. Yes, they're expensive to put out, but when you have windmill after windmill failing fucking their wings or blades, just snap randomly because they have to make them so light, people complain about them killing ecosystems or whatever, or actual birds. It's not solar systems who create massive heat fields.
Or are just inefficient because we can't even harness all the power that's in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And as good as they are, you're not getting everything because
No.
it's waves. They run day and night. Yes, they might stop for services. Yes, they're expensive, but you'll make it off because they produce so much more energy faster. And people may complain about fish. Set up a fucking grate or
That can
with
still
the nets.
there's that still has potential to like be harmful in some way.
Oh yeah, I know.
And there's always going to be that's always going to happen. So that's always going to be there. There's
But
always going to be some potential that like, oh, this is bad because of this.
would you,
But does it outweigh?
would you rather kill a
Does it
fish or a bird?
Yeah.
What can you eat?
Can you eat both?
I ain't eating no bird
No, I'm
unless
not gonna,
it's a chicken.
yeah, I'm not eating a pelican that just comes out of the sky.
Facts.
Well,
I'm not eating.
some hawk just got
But still.
shredded by this.
I'm
big
not
ass
eating a
thing.
peregrine falcon that got smacked by a wing blade that's decimated into the earth.
Yeah, frightful came
But
dive
even if-
bombing out of the
Fateful
sky onto
mound.
my plate. No.
Oh man.
But even if we were to harness like the waves, just the nuclear power plant,
Even
would create
hydro.
so much more. But at this point, I
Yeah.
don't think technology's to that at that advanced to where we can harness enough energy to make it efficient.
I don't know about that. I really think that the technology might be there, but the
Well, look at
infrastructure
solar
isn't.
panels.
Well, I think it's the
Solar panels-
infrastructure that the issue is right now, right?
Take oil
we
rigs.
just don't have the infrastructure.
Well, think about
to
solar
store it.
panels. In order to power something like New York City,
Crazy.
you need a mile by a mile,
Yeah.
a square mile of
Yep.
solar panels just to power it. That's an insane amount of
I
space.
know.
But like when you can like make it half, maybe a quarter of
Think
that
of a nuclear
for
power
a
plant
nuclear
that
power
size.
plant, the nuclear power plant would still blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
Well, think
A nuclear power plant that size could potentially power the country. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Well, a singular power plant couldn't power.
If it was big enough.
Think about this. You remember oil rigs in the Gulf? What can we do with those 4 poles? Modify them. Put tidal buoys on them. Mm-hmm. They'll run up and down.
How do the
infrastructure's
tidal buoys
always
work?
there. There's already cables going, or you can just charge batteries with it. Why that?
How does the tidal buoy work?
It basically, you'll have a big ass pillar, and then on the outside you'll have rollers and a big ass fucking buoy, and as it rolls up and down, it's coils going in and out. It's hard to explain. I'd have to go a schematics of it.
Show you like.
But as it rolls up and down, it's the same thing as like a hydraulic. It's as it turns, it twists coils.
Okay.
As they rub past each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's made, and it makes so much sense. It's just there's not a lot of investment because they're like it's still expensive. It's kind of like SpaceX and rockets. I think in 10 years, 15 years, people are going to start looking into it more. But as of now, they're like, yeah, it's too expensive. It's not worth the investment. But once people start researching it more, R&D gets better, technology gets better, I think that's what we should do. But I'm a 19-year-old engineer who doesn't know shit.
Yeah,
so
what the hell do we know?
It's all bullshit in the end. But I did a research paper. Fuck it.
Yeah. I think that's a problem with a lot of new technologies. It's the almost hesitation behind it. Like, we're not quite sure if this is the endorsement to go for, and we're not 100% comfortable with it yet.
Well, it's also, I think America, basically, we got to the space race. We got Cold Wars, whatever. We stopped trying. You look at our infrastructure. You compare big cities to big cities here. They don't even compare. I mean, I know, like, you compare it to Dubai, who has the Burj Khalifa and
the most money in the world,
the most beautiful city ever.
But it's
with
so
curved.
It's so rich there, though.
I
There's
know.
So much money that gets pumped in there from all the oil tycoons and like.
But you even look at Japan. They have very efficient buildings. They have beautiful. I mean, they're packed cities, but their infrastructure is beautiful.
I don't know if I could live there simply because.
Oh, I definitely couldn't.
Simply
So
because
many
of how
people.
many people there are.
Oh yeah, I agree. But like Pittsburgh, I love going into Pittsburgh, looking at all the buildings, looking because like there's that big stone castle right in the middle.
Yes,
and then
the prison, yeah.
Yes, and then there's PPG Glass.
Yeah.
And then there's UPMC and all the cool towers around.
Places.
And it's cool.
Perkins Eastman.
But you look at not a very large city in Japan, Germany, anywhere.
There's just more.
All the infrastructure's well thought.
I think it's
for the most part.
I think it's because it's all been updated.
Yes.
And I don't.
But I think we're just. I think we're just like we
slowed
down.
Trying, but we definitely
haven't
at the top.
We're not the powerhouse anymore.
No.
And I don't know. It's just kind of like
to cool down again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because were we ever really the powerhouse, or was that just how history was presented to us?
Yes.
I think we're the powerhouse.
I thought so too. Yeah, and I still think so. But it's possible that.
Well, you figure we were because we had like Empire State Building came out. We had, unfortunately, fell on now, but Twin Towers. Those were beautiful.
Yeah.
And
but the World Trade Center was here.
We had we had the San Francisco Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. Beautiful.
Hoover Dam.
Yeah. Yes. Now
maybe not so pretty, but still.
Yeah, but then Burj Khalifa popped up. Other massive buildings popped up that were greener, better, perform better. Even the one building in China that has the swinging weight in the middle because that counterbalances the air.
To keep it from swaying in the wind too much, yeah.
We have the world's biggest thermometer.
Dublin Spire's like that too. It rests on a big old ball.
But yeah, exactly. It's just like Norway. They have those curved bridges going throughout little islands. I don't know. I just feel like it's like, okay, get it done, cheap, whatever. It makes sense. for an average like business side thing. But instead of being like, okay, America has this, we're up to date, we're with it. It's just kind of like we're kind of getting old. It's kind of like the Penguins. We're old and slow.
I think that Pittsburgh area in particular is slowing down.
Yeah.
Growing old. And it's because the steel industry is dead.
Yep.
Well, it's not dead. It's just
In Pittsburgh.
Compared to how it was.
But it's also
Like
cleaner.
that.
well, they
And
can.
it's a
Well,
lot
that's the
cleaner
thing. They
now.
moved it places where it could be
Yes.
produced cleaner.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean that makes sense, but
Well, no. Say, of course, no. Well, I wouldn't say Pittsburgh's slowing down. I think yes, of course, the steel industry is
I think it
slowing
should.
down.
I think it should.
But the tech.
Yeah.
But when it comes
Medical.
to biotechnology and medical
Yeah.
technology, it is far superior.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You know.
Like some of the
So
best
I think
equipment
it's slowing down with manufacturing, but it's also with the medical technology.
has been
It has been skyrocketing.
And it's weird to look at it from those two different perspectives because you looked at a different group of people who would be working in the steel mills. Like
Yeah.
they had different levels of education maybe, or they lived differently.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at, okay, now it's shifting into biomedical stuff. And that's a big jump from going to working in a steel mill to
Less
bioengineering or
less blue collar.
biomedical. Yeah, it's a lot more white collar.
It's definitely more
Ask
white
now.
collar. But and that's not a bad thing either.
No.
It's just
It's just different than how it
Yeah.
was. It's just different, and things are changing, and it's interesting to see how everybody adapts to that,
yeah.
or if they adapt to it.
The thing I like, I take a look at like even since I'm in college, I take our colleges and I look at other countries. Like I look at our schooling. I forget where we rank, but it's so like poor
Yeah,
compared to how much we spend on education and how much like not dumber we are, but just
how much lower quality it is.
yeah, how much like you think of Japan, their schooling,
Think
the way they
about the
school.
culture surrounding it though, and how like there's so much higher emphasis on
Mhm.
doing well in school.
Yeah, and I don't know, because like here, half the kids in most schools, maybe less than half, don't care about their education. They're fine with just going through it half-assed. They'll come out, make whatever. They're
Yeah.
fine. Instead of, man, I really have a knack for this, and I really want to get into this. And I don't think our high schools do. Well, maybe this is just our high school.
Our high school did
Yeah,
not.
our high
prepare
school
us
definitely
in
did
that way.
not.
They didn't. They were like, all right, senior project, you got to pick whatever you want to do right now.
Yeah.
It's not like, have a passion, explore that passion, write about it,
I did
or
have fun
something
with my
like that.
senior project because what did I do? I just messed around.
Exactly.
I did something.
Well, that's the thing. People who apply themselves get much out of that senior project. People who don't care, they're gonna go. I don't know. They're gonna build a toolbox.
Yeah, I won't say that I
Yeah.
built a toolbox. Who built the toolbox? I wonder. Or build a wind-powered phone charger, perchance.
Well,
You mean
so
that didn't work?
It did work.
it did, just backwards.
No, all I had to do was okay. All I had to do was
Power turbine.
look. All I had to do was flip the wiring around. I don't know why they mislabeled it. It's because I got it from some El Cheapo website, whatever.
China.
I wasn't gonna say that, but
It probably was.
actually, I think it was from Taiwan. Believe it or not, I'm pretty sure it said made in Taiwan on the packaging.
But
It was like $2.
like, so I have a friend who is now an electrician. He graduated from a tech school. He built a toolbox as a senior project to show that he wanted to become an electrician, and that was perfectly approved. It was 4 pieces of wood slapped together with nails and screws, with a clamp as its holder.
Oh,
Myself, I wanted to be an engineer, or something like that, or maybe go to a trade. I did a scale model of a room with 3-way outlets or light switches with 210 outlets or whatever. 210. I don't know. Sounds right.
Are you talking
or
about the
110.
wires?
I don't know. I made one
How many
strong
amps were
outlet.
you running through it?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. But it had
Did you plug it into the wall?
a breaker box on it. I had a 3-way light switch, so I could turn it off from either side, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very well done. It was a 3x3x3 cube. And the electrician made a toolbox. I get...
Dude, we built those for scouts, just as like when we were Cub Scouts. We built toolboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They actually had a handle.
That's
And we built them as like, what,
But
10-year-olds?
9, 10-year-olds.
But when they say, man, I'm going to build a computer or a desktop, they don't consider that
No.
progress to anything. Because technology is everything now. But when a kid builds a toolbox with 5 pieces of wood, I'm not knocking on my friend,
No.
but how do you justify that's what you want to do? Like, it doesn't show. I don't know.
That's why I said, they said you could do an internship, but you couldn't be paid for it.
Yeah.
I told them, up yours. I worked where we work.
Yeah.
Is
Just got.
I just worked there,
It shows.
which was electronics,
Yeah.
and that's all I did.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just got him to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And it shows.
I got paid like
Yeah.
$15 an hour for it.
Yeah. And you just went to work and then bullshitted some stuff.
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah.
Well, all I had to do was explain what I did that day.
Yep.
Which is easy. It's just like doing a normal journal.
Exactly.
So I just explained. Half of the time, it was the same thing each time.
But the thing is, like, I go back to it. Those are our public schools. I'd say a majority of our public schools are about the same par as ours, for the most part. Some are worse, some are way better, because of funding. But you go to Japan, even this is all interpretation. I could be way skewed here.
this is like
But-
outside looking in.
The amount of care that is projected from just public schools, there's so much. Yeah, there's the bad students, but half the time, most kids try. I'd say a solid 80% try compared to our public schools, where I'd say probably 50 to 60 try.
I think
And-
that all goes back to like the culture surrounding
Yeah.
it.
And I think our not culture's getting like soft, but that ties into I think we slowed down.
I think
because
we're getting-
people don't have ambition to work anymore.
I think people are getting lazy, and it's not necessarily their fault.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if I could be unemployed and get paid,
of course I would do that.
of course.
Of course, that makes sense. Like, why would you put in more work than you have to live?
Yeah.
Like, and when I say it
Comfortably.
like that, it sounds terrible, right? But you understand the point.
If I can get by without working and not lift a finger,
yeah, like you're gonna do
people
that.
will do that.
And that's because people get
They don't have
comfortable
the
and they
drive.
like being comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's not like, and comfort kills ambition.
Yes.
If you're comfortable and you're complacent and compliant, you're not going to have those ambitions to improve. Or maybe you will. Maybe you're different like that. But I know personally, if I'm in a comfortable position and I'm happy with where I am, I'm not really thinking towards, okay, now what's next? I'm enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to enjoy the moment, but it's also important to look to the future.
I don't know if this is why I became an engineer, but I'm like, okay, this is good, but how can I make it better? Because like even simple things like
I just had a conversation about the exact same thing.
even like I'm sitting at my desk playing video games. Okay, whether it's my skill or it's like my actual setup itself, I either research ways to make it better, research ways to play better, something like that. Like, I worked my ass off for making minimum wage at 15, 16, something like that. I got a part-time job at a pizza place. Worked my ass off a summer. Saved up $1,000. Bought my own PC. Made my own setup. And, well, I wasn't done there. I wanted to continue. I wanted to do this, do that. Then eventually that carried into sports in high school. I wanted to work, get better. I started playing a sport, no clue about. Elijah can attest that. I still don't. And I worked for it. And people just don't, like, even at jobs, even at part-time jobs where they don't have to do anything, they still don't do their job. That's why people are hiring these 14-year-olds to work at Wendy's. And it's just, I don't know.
Well, that's the job where I feel like younger kids and like 14-year-olds would have a better spot of work.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
low
where they-
intensive labor.
That's where
it's
they
something,
should work.
It's something that you don't need much training. Like something you can go for a day,
Yeah.
train that day, and boom, next day you're ready to like work.
Or maybe like a couple days. Like maybe you need
Yeah.
to learn how to do a handful of things. They'll teach you one thing one day, another thing another day, another thing another day, and then
That's
you're
where
ready to
you
go.
learn, like, not life lessons, but
General
your general,
work skills.
yes, your general work skills that will lead on to your actual I know that sounds bad, actual profession as a regular worker. Now, if you're a manager, a head of some field, say like a head of cook or whatever, a lead cook at a restaurant, that's different. But as your part-time worker, those are good starting jobs. But,
And for some people, it's hard to get full-time work, so they work multiple part-time jobs, or they'll
Yes.
only work a part-time job. And it's a very different, it's a weird situation to talk about in
yes.
broad terms.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's not like I'm shitting on
No, of course
people
not.
who only work at McDonald's or
No.
whatever.
Like,
But it's just, if
Yeah.
you need to set yourself up,
why would you
early.
want to do that?
yes.
Or if you're a kid or you're
Complete-
coming out of school,
Yep.
or you don't like have a true career yet,
Yes.
unless that's maybe where you want your career
If-
to be.
If your passion is there, that's
Go for
fine. I have a neighbor who worked at Verizon for a while, then she didn't like it all that much. She became a head waitress at where I used to work at the pizza place, and she loved it, and that she made decent money, and now she's at another restaurant that I love, working as another waitress, and that's just who she's meant to be.
Mhm. She's
But
good with people.
She's
and
happy
like
with
yeah.
that. She's
Yeah.
not. It's not like she's complacent. She's like, oh, I'm here. It's. I
She's
want to.
pleased with what she does, and she finds
Yes,
meaning in
she's.
it. Yeah.
I'm working for a good business. I'm helping clients. I love what I do.
Mhm.
It's. I get very teed off with people who go, all right, I'm at this dead end job, and I guess I gotta do it. Now it's different if you get a degree and you're like, oh, I actually have to stick with it till I make money so I can do something different.
Mhm.
It's just, say you're at a part-time job and you're like, well, I don't like this, and it's like a technician for something, just like a cheap one, and they're like, well, I hate this, but I can do it. It's like I was horrible at physics, but I was like, I like designing things. I think I can be an engineer. My one teacher said, yes, it might be hard. It was Harper.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't great at physics, but I wanted to learn, and it's like I wanted to try, and I don't know. It's just
I feel like
I feel like our culture is getting soft.
I feel like at school the problem is they're not
pushing.
they're not. No, I wouldn't
Well-
say they're not pushing. I say they're not teaching us, or they're forcing us to learn things that we necessarily don't want to learn.
Yep.
I feel like they need to reinforce,
Passions.
more like classes that go towards what we want to learn.
Mhm.
I feel like because sometimes people don't want to sit through a class like psychology. They get stuck with that class. They don't want to be
Unless
there.
it's their passion.
Yeah, unless it's
Yeah.
well, I meant what
Yeah,
I mean.
yeah.
They're stuck with a class that they don't want to be at. Why the hell would you want to put in effort to a class that you don't enjoy?
Yep.
I mean, I sure as hell did it. I hated English.
Yep.
I mean,
But-
you kind of have to take it, but still, I feel like they push. In my opinion, I mean that's not yours.
Yeah.
They push too much of English. It never fucking changes. Teach me how to write. That's what I need in the future. I don't need to know any of that shit. You know, just teach me how to write. Okay? Don't tell me, oh, you need to read this book. Analyze this book. I don't give a shit about this book. Don't tell me to read it. So I never put effort into English because I hated it.
Yep.
But they never reinforced me to like take more engineering classes and more engineering-based classes. I mean, hell, in high school, I figured out I didn't want to do biology because I took that first semester. It was junior year. That first semester, I took biotech. I took AP Bio.
Oof.
I thought it was the most boring days of my life.
Yep.
I got my way through there as slow as I could. You know, not putting in any effort. I just got through it, got an A, got out of there. Then came AP Physics 2. I love that class because it was all about electronics. And I really enjoyed Physics 2 and loved the electronics part. That's how I figured out I want to be an engineer. So, you know, I feel like they need to reinforce more classes towards careers rather than, like, so much background stuff.
Yeah.
I think had they done that, and if I did have to take more engineering classes, or I had the opportunity to in high school, and yeah, I could have given myself opportunities if I would have applied myself more and maybe gone out to the colleges, like gone to the community colleges, taken those extra courses, like put in all that extra work for it. I could have done that, but I didn't. And I think if I had, I would have realized sooner.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would have realized sooner that engineering just wasn't the thing for me.
Well, here's the thing. With also my idea of, like, reinforcing more career paths, say you want to go into engineering. Your first idea, boom, I want to be an engineer. You take more math classes, more physics classes, more engineering-based classes, like, in that field, those starter classes that you'll take anyway, and reinforce those and say, oh, man, I don't really like math, or I don't really like physics. You move to another field where where something else is going to be more prominent. Say you really enjoy chemistry. Well, now you took chemistry. Now you reinforce your chemistry more. Rather than saying, oh, you take this one class, but that's all you get. That's all you get of that class. So you don't really understand that field enough to make an educated guess towards your future.
I think that the whole concept of general education classes is good on paper because it's important, I think, at least to diversify your knowledge and branch out a little bit to see, like, you know,
how
culture
other
yourself
people
a little
think.
bit,
Yeah.
and how other people think, and just to broaden your own horizons.
Yeah.
That's important. However,
You need a little discomfort.
I think that particularly in colleges, requiring those things for a degree doesn't make sense.
I think having 2 full semesters of gen eds
Is
stupid.
crazy.
I think.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
crazy to me.
Well, for me, it was kind of okay because I went into engineering at a branch campus, and I didn't know what specific engineering I wanted to do, so I had physics, chem, and then coding, and then a couple other classes, and then from there I decided, mechanical, but I decided my first semester that I wanted to be mechanical. And the second semester I took Chem 2, which was really cool. I learned a lot. I kind of like Chem. Not so much to do it every day. Took another coding class. Realized don't have a care for it much at all. And it's just, I took another English comp. Got a 98 in the first comp. Got a 95 in the second. Did I put any effort into the second or first? No. And it was just a waste of time because it was taking at least 5-6 hours each week out of my hard chem class, my hard coding class, and my hard math class. And the same thing now. I have, like, linear algebra in Calc 3. Even though it's very important for engineering, I spend at least 12 hours on calc, I swear. And not getting much out of it, but I'm doing all the engineering classes fine. And it has not benefited me since.
A lot of the people I've talked to, at least who've gone through the engineering degrees at my school, a lot of the upperclassmen, and a lot of the alumni that come back, and they say every time, I have not used that since that class, or I haven't done this since that class. So why are we taking the classes?
Yep.
Mhm.
Well,
That's
it's a business at the end
I
of the
feel
day.
like
it is,
Yeah.
and
and
it's important to understand that it is
I want-
first a business, second a school.
Yeah.
I wonder if they should have used high school to reinforce that, education of the background. So like physics. So you know how physics works. You know how math is.
Yep.
Now let me take the classes
Such
like for mechanical engineering. Make me take those classes where I'll use those problems, and teach those problems in that class. So you have real world applications in that said class.
Yep.
That use the stuff you learned from high school.
Yeah. I think it would be cool, say in physics, while you're going through it, it can still be the same course, same content. Just be like, okay, this is what this profession would do. Say I'm a physicist. We'd use fucking all of it. Say you're an engineer. Okay, this is geared more towards the engineers, so if you're ever looking into it, this is more what you would get.
Now you say
Bio.
that they do make classes like that. At least where I'm going, they have the
But in high school,
engineering physics classes that people take. They have the engineering speaking classes that people have to take. The engineering writing classes, and you have to write reports on engineering shit, like how you would.
Then why
at a
don't they
job.
just make that the basis?
but that's what I'm saying.
Why do you have to
high
take?
school class?
Why do you have to take chemistry, literature, and all that when you're just going to take that kind of class? Why can't we just reinforce that kind of class where I'll take real world applications and put it towards my future rather than reading a book about a goddamn person who was fucking in high school? Fuck if I care. That ain't me. But it's a book. It's an actual book that I read in high school. I don't give a shit. I mean, cool. It's a book. I understand your problems, but it ain't my problem. I don't like reading that kind of book. Let me read what I want to read and do a book report on that said book.
Yep.
Pull out literary devices on a book that I want to read, not books that you think, oh, you need to read this because, well, it's important. But it's not. And it's not even one of those books, like, say, To Kill a Mockingbird. Like all the, canceled books or banned books?
The banned books.
Where it shows you something that, people don't want you to see. But in all reality, half the time, it's, like, sexuality based.
That is usually, that's like a big factor.
Or religion.
Yeah, religion,
Sexuality,
racial. It's always about that
Anything
kind of
It's
stuff that
controversial topics
Yeah.
that people don't
Yeah.
put out there to keep to increase controversy.
But that's kind of where you need that knowledge. Like, okay, now I see this is what happened,
So
and
this
I
is
know
how-
that's wrong. Why are we saying, oh, but it's banned? But in reality, the banned term means just that it shows it's not technically PC, but it's just from a different time period where those mistakes happen. So why can't I learn from their mistakes to proceed to make better decisions?
That's actually an interesting point to come across too. Is how the banned books are changing from.
Because Lord of the Rings is banned.
Yeah,
Is it?
For most
Yeah.
for most people, it's a banned book in
Because-
some parts because the way Tolkien, how the characters develop and how different things are displayed, like what they actually mean and what he meant them to mean, don't align with some countries' views or something like that. U.S. we're to lean back, so we don't really give a shit.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But-
it's based off of freedom, and honestly, sometimes I don't know how to really say this, but sometimes countries don't want their people reading it in order to keep
Yeah.
outside influence out. But people are gonna find a way to read it anyway.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just banning it won't necessarily help.
I think high school's meant for you to learn, or not learn, but it gets you in the mindset of doing school work. College gets you in the mindset of learning. It teaches you how to learn. You don't actually know how to do your fucking job, except for nursing where you have clinicals and shit and medical stuff. Engineers don't really know how to do the job until they get out into the field and they get experience.
A big thing.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to learn how to do your job, no
Is
matter where you
being
go, is
in
being
the job.
in the actual
Yes.
job and getting the training.
That's why I feel
And
There
that's why-
are exceptions. However, that's usually how it's
Yes, in 90% of the time.
going to go. Experience
Business.
is important.
You gotta be in a company. Learn how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Learn what markets focus towards what companies and research that.
And all
yes,
that can
you
be learned in school, but can it be applied in
That's
school?
why I'm saying
That's the big issue.
college teaches you how to learn better.
Yeah.
Like, because people study hard most of the time in college.
Yeah.
Some don't. But I think that's why I don't understand why college is so expensive, but I do get it's a business. Because it doesn't really teach you, except for some cases.
Yeah. Let's look at what college really is. You're paying them an exorbitant amount of money to give you a piece of paper that says you completed something.
And then you go to a job.
And because you have that piece of paper, now you stand
You
out
make
a little bit more.
$5 more.
To
To 10, to 12,
5 to
to,
12.
to 30.
Hey, I'll take
But-
5 to 12. How many years
So-
do I take off to pay the student loans? Probably the rest of my life.
Yeah. Because just the debt.
It's so expensive. And I don't think necessarily canceling the debt is the right way to
Oh,
go about
no,
things.
no.
If mine got canceled, of course I'd be happy about it. But I think it can also cause repercussions.
That's
in some ways.
why I think community college and trades are such a
They are
good
a huge
option.
deal.
And for most times, I do not think college is worth it, unless it's some certain degrees. I said this to my friends earlier. But if you're going, I don't know. Like, you gotta look where you're at. Like, right now, PA, environmental science, it is so hard to make money off of it
Yeah.
after college. And you spend a boatload of money if you go to IUP, Pitt. My buddy who's going to Ohio State for environmental science is going to come back, probably not have a job right out of college
Look at
because it's
Penn State.
so hard.
Look at Penn State. It's $32,000 a year
In state.
in-state tuition.
Out of state, what? It's 45? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like 45.
That is
a year,
100.
which is crazy. That's not including.
That's
room and board.
180,000 without for the average. No, I'm not.
Without
I'm not
room
going
and
to get into that. I was going to say average right now. For people without loans,
AIDS.
reimbursement, aids,
Yeah.
financial aid,
It's expensive.
it's 180,000 to go to Penn State out of state.
It's crazy. And
people
a
still
lot
do
of
it.
A lot of people can afford it though.
Oh
And-
yes.
When you like, hey, that's all. I'm
It-
not gonna say daddy's money, but daddy's money, you know. There's
Or
a lot
mommy's
of
money.
that all around.
Family money.
Yes,
Family money.
well, of course, it's family money. Money's
Grandparents,
been in your
family.
Your grandparents had money. Your parents had money.
Oil rights,
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
coal
And-
rights.
Yeah, coal. Coal's a huge one around here.
Tanner.
There's people from
Natural gas.
natural gas.
Marcellus.
Uh-huh.
Marcellus is fun. I like Marcellus. Marcellus is an interesting. Marcellus is really cool because my dad explained it to me. They bend the pipes.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Then they go right into the pockets, but that's
Yep.
a whole different tangent. But
Those are really cool, actually. My uncle does stuff like that.
did you see the new building out by Kings? I don't know
Which
if you
one
have
out
since you've
on,
been 66 Toll.
66?
Wait, you
I
know
don't-
what?
I've
You know
never-
it's gonna be like a.
It's gonna be a
Topgolf
trucking-
or something.
I wish it was a. I wish it
Are
was
they
a
building
Toll.
a Topgolf near us?
There's one in
There's
Pittsburgh.
one in Pittsburgh,
Yeah, that's close.
but that's been there.
No, I.
The so
No.
basically, you know the Kings.
Yeah.
Right behind that,
Okay.
before you turn off,
Yeah.
there's this big place, and I was like,
What is
because it used to be a shopping mall
Uh huh.
25 years ago, apparently, from my parents,
Yeah.
and so it's just this big concrete pad that's probably, God, I don't even know, like almost like an acre.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is now. They have 80-foot tall walls all along that whole
Oh my
concrete.
word.
It's massive.
What's it gonna be?
I think it's some trucking like station, like
Like a rest stop.
like
or
almost like
something?
an Amazon. It's I think it's gonna be some company.
Oh.
It's not
like
Amazon.
a warehouse.
No, it's just gonna be like truck, like that's where it's gonna be. Like all the
their
freight,
trucks.
all their 18-wheelers
Oh.
are gonna get serviced, stored, all that kind of thing. It's kind of like the
Okay.
transit.
Yeah.
The transit thing on 66.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it is really cool to see how fast it gets put up. It's been 2 weeks. They already have the outside wall done. And it is a
It's a big.
God,
it's a big area.
30,000 square foot at least.
Yeah, it's a large area.
It's just insane. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But it was just cool.
It was cool to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh?
I'm gonna get another drink. And now an alcoholic drink.
Well, thank you all for watching this episode. We're going to end this right here. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this conversation that we had, and this was in person, so it was kind of a little bit new. And we actually have a fire behind us. I don't know if we ever said anything about it. Probably didn't.
We're in a cozy little cabin all crammed in on a little couch.
Yeah,
it's real nice.
So, yeah, thank you all, dudes, for watching this episode. And if you did enjoy this video, hit that like button down below. And if you want to see any more of this content, subscribe. And, yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye then.